Just a wild weather combo. It's gripping Colorado right now. Strong winds mixed with low humidity is elevating the fire danger, especially on the eastern plains where we've seen fires. At the same time, a winter storm is bringing a dangerous combination of strong winds and heavy snow to the mountains, and that's creating blinding snow squalls in some areas, making travel really difficult.
Anywhere from 3 inches to several feet of snow is expected to fall across the mountains over the next few days. It is shaping up to be one of the biggest winter storms of the season so far, at least for the high country. Let's start tonight with Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin with more on this whirlwind of weather. Always, like usually, it depends on where you are.
Yes, and as Kim will tell you, nobody likes the wind, Phil. Nobody likes the wind, even when we're seeing that beautiful snow that we haven't seen in such a very long time. Weather impact alert continues. We're dealing with snow and blowing snow in the mountains, and we're also dealing with critical fire weather in Denver and on the eastern plains. We've seen winds to 60 and 70 miles per hour. They're battling a grass fire in eastern Elbert County. We've been watching the smoke with our Viaro camera in the Lyman area, and we've seen some areas of blowing dust and a dust storm down around the Pueblo area. We also have wind in the city that's starting to let up a little bit. We've had really kind of whiteout conditions and snow squall conditions on I-70 for a time today, with afternoon temperatures relatively mild in the 50s for much of the day. Winds are still extremely gusty in northeastern Colorado and picking up over some of the higher passes as well. You factor in the wind, the warmth, and humidity values, single digits and teens, and you can see why a fire weather warning remains in effect for the entire eastern half of our state, including the Denver metro area, through at least 7 o'clock. Around that, a high wind warning. We've seen gusts from 55 to 70 miles per hour and 1,000 flight delays out at DIA. But the good news, there is moisture in the mountains in the form of snow, heavy snow, winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories, as we expect 3 days of off and on snow that could tally 2 to 3 feet by Thursday if we're lucky. So next 12 hours in Denver, we're going to see that wind come down a little bit and temperatures come down a little bit. And coming up, I'm going to have much more on the mountain snow forecast, a cooler weather trend for Denver, and how much wind we might expect tomorrow.
Evacuation orders are in effect for a wildfire burning in Elbert County. That fire is burning in the Matheson area. This is west of Lyman, 48 miles northwest of Colorado Springs. There are crews from several agencies responding. Still no word as to how big that fire is, but smoke can be seen from Lyman. The National Weather Service says smoke from this fire and another Weld County fire is visible on weather radar. A portion of Elbert County is under a fire weather warning until 7 tonight.
During these high wind events, we would typically see Xcel implement its power safety shutoff plan, but they tell us not this time. The company says today's wind does not meet that criteria, although people may still lose power because of these conditions. Taking a look at the current Xcel outages right now, company is reporting about 26 outages impacting 320 or so customers. Xcel, along with Core Electric, says they are enhancing the power lines, and that means power could be cut off if an issue is detected. The extreme wind having a major impact on Denver International Airport. According to FlightAware, more than 1,000 flights, as you just heard Kathy say, were delayed, 86 canceled. The FAA says because of the wind, departure traffic set for DIA was experiencing 2.5-hour delays on average. The airport typically handles anywhere from 1,700 to 2,000 flights.
4 people have died, 29 others were hurt in a massive crash on I-25 south of Pueblo during those blowing conditions. The crash happened just after 10 this morning. Colorado State Patrol says there were crashes on both sides of the highway, with the larger pileup on the northbound lanes. CSP says at least 30 vehicles, including 6 semi-trucks, were involved in these crashes. Several hospitals in the area confirmed that they received multiple patients. We don't know the state of those injuries at this moment. The highway was open at the time, but the wind and the weather made the conditions much worse.
This was one of those storms that came through and the wind picked up very quickly, and that location down there, unfortunately due to the lack of moisture and stuff that we've had in the area recently, the dirt and everything just transversed all the way across I-25 and created just what I'll call as a dirt or a brownout that visibility was next to nothing.
That crash closed the highway for several hours. The southbound lanes are back open, but northbound will remain closed for some time. The pushback against Flock's license plate reading cameras is growing. Now protesters in Fort Collins want the city to ditch Flock.
So the cameras, as you know, have been controversial because of privacy concerns. Tonight, those protesters hope to send a message to the city. 9 News Northern Colorado reporter Amanda Gilbert spoke with them.
There's been a group gathered here near College and Drake for several hours. Some people are now heading to Fort Collins City Council. These protesters say they're doing this now because next week Fort Collins City Council members will be learning more about the city's contract with Flock. These are automatic license plate reading cameras used by police to help track suspects in crime cases. In Fort Collins, the city says they're doing this now because there's a lot of new leadership with questions or concerns. In a work session next week, council members will hear from the local police department. Fort Collins Chief of Communications and Engagement Amanda King said because this is a work session, there won't be any decision or vote happening. Still, some people in Fort Collins feel tonight's a chance for them to share their thoughts ahead of that presentation.
That the surveillance that these Flock cameras are doing is not normal. It is not something that people would tolerate if they understood and they saw.
I did reach out to city council members. They weren't free today or just didn't get back to me, but this has been a big topic in cities near Fort Collins. The city of Longmont recently voted to stop using the Flock automatic license plate camera readers, and Denver's had its own issues with the cameras. Just last week, the city signaled they would seek other bids for a surveillance camera contract. In Fort Collins, Amanda Gilbert, 9 News.
Flock says they will also be presenting at next week's city council meeting. They say Fort Collins Police Department has sole authority over if, when, or even whom information is shared with. Vehicle data is automatically deleted after 30 days unless local law requires otherwise. Aurora Water has selected a new proposed project site for a new reservoir. That's according to our partners at the Denver Gazette. The Wild Horse Reservoir project is the department's proposal to build an off-channel reservoir near Hartselle in Park County. According to the project's website, the reservoir will ensure reliable water supply for Aurora as the city continues to grow. Without a new reservoir, Aurora Water anticipates dipping into its emergency water reserves by 2045. Department officials say the state would need more than 130 billion gallons of new water storage in the next 20 years. The Denver sports community, and really anyone who knew him, is mourning the death of legendary Nuggets head coach Doug Moe.
The team confirmed in his family that he passed away today at the age of 87. Moe coached the Nuggets for a decade, from 1980 to 1990. He led the team to a then record 432 wins. He had 2 other stints with Denver, first as an assistant under Larry Brown in the mid-70s, and then again from 2002 to 2008. Moe's 628 wins ranked 19th in NBA history. He was inducted into the Colorado Sports Hall of Fame in 1997.